What happened? Um, yeah, okay. Okay, sorry, there was a small disturbance there. So what I was saying, yeah, what we used to do is he gives us this white cloth bag in our hands and he used to tell us to follow him. So we go to this small koti kada, like a small tea stall, and we used to buy this 5 rupees, 10 rupees Parle G biscuit packets in our bags, and we used to carry this bag with him. And what he does is he takes us around the neighborhood. We walk around the neighborhood, and wherever we find dogs, we my grandfather used to like feed the dogs and just walking around the neighborhood. Usually, we do it after coming from the school or something. So by around 5 to 6 every day, we did this as an daily routine. And there was this day where my grandfather was not feeling well, and we didn't take a walk. But we noticed on that day when this is all like vaguely I remember we were all sitting in the hall, and there was like a lot of barking and howling going in the street, and we were wondering what is happening outside. And me and my grandma, we were running and seeing what was happening, and we noticed that there were around 9 to 8 dogs standing in before our gates and howling and barking very loud, and we didn't know what was going on until then, like why everyone, like all the dogs were standing there, and they were not hurting or anything, they were just keep on barking very loud. And then after some time my grandfather also came outside, and we noticed the dogs started slowly like not barking and standing on the two legs and waving at my grandfather. And it was so like, when I looked at it, it was like, okay, yeah, uh, the dogs cannot express them while they're talking, but they were able to connect with my dad. I mean, with my grandfather, to the emotions and to its feeling. And after a while, I think my grandmother, she went and she bought all the homemade food and she kept it for the dogs to eat, and they all left around 7, 6:30 after seeing my grandfather. So after that, I remember like we were all wondering how is it possible? They were all the dogs are from different neighborhood, but how did they reach the house that they were not even familiar of or they were not aware of? So this was something that made me remember or took back to my memory when I was reading that book. So today's discussion will be based on the incredible journey by Sheila Burnford. It's an amazing book. I think we'll have a interesting discussions and stories that pet lovers and pet owners would be sharing with us. So the session is open, and if somebody would like to share what they felt while reading the book. Is there any dog lovers or pet lovers who are in the session who would like to share any story that the pet has done for them or made them smile? Would like to share something? Okay, there's um, Aditya ne would. Okay. Maybe try using a earphone or something. So there's a huge background noise that is disturbing. Is there anybody else who would like to share something that they felt? that the animal or the pet did for them, or any stories that you would like to share? Okay. There was this thing that I noticed while reading the book. We always have this myth that how can a cat and a dog can be friends because they always fight, is it? But in the story, that if you notice, the author would have described that the dogs and the cat got along really well, and it seemed like they had a family within themselves, and even the dogs used to go sleep on the cat's bed. So that's something that I'm still wondering how they would have started communicating, or how did they get along. Uh, is there anything that you guys felt like that you would like to see, that oh, this dog got along with other pet, or anything like that?
Hi Akshaya, am I
Uh,
audible?
uh, Hi.
Okay, Diti, yeah, you can go.
So what I felt is like the connection between the dogs and the cat was really incredible. Like we rarely find that. Maybe people who have both the pets at the same time, maybe knowing well about it. But I used to have a cat when I was a kid, so I was pretty well related with that. It used to sleep with me in my bed sheet, and sometime when I grew up, like I was far away from home, and then I missed it, and all the while I would be thinking of it whenever I see all the pets. So the story was really narrated very beautifully, and the connection that Helve had with the cat, and which was the connection which she was a lonely kid, and how she felt when she got a companion. And I just feel for her that when the cat got its strength back again, and she wants to rejoin her friends in the journey to find their home, but sadly the kid was alone again, so that was a sad ending.
Even
So it was really a good journey, very well described. Like the author really described well about the way they were living in the woods and the forest and all the journey. I really enjoyed it thoroughly.
nice. So yeah, even when I was reading at the end, I was still wondering what happened to the two dogs.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
It's
What
just
would
they
have
didn't finish.
happened? Maybe we have to read the entire book or
Yeah, it just kept me going. I saw that there was a documentary, there was a movie about it, and
yes,
it had a different. It had the same storyline, but visuals were quite different. But
yeah, maybe.
I'll definitely share it in the group as well if you guys were interested to see it in a movie, or would like to see how they rejoin with their family. Because I think the whole book, in the end of the book, they say they were hungry, they were thin, they were lean when they reached the home, but still they
Mm,
reunited. The happiness that they must have felt, the family must have felt, or the dogs must have felt at the end.
yes. And
Definitely.
even in the afterword, it was mentioned that the author had pets for her own, really, like
Yeah,
two dogs and a cat, and how the younger one would take care of the elder one
yeah,
as it lost its sight and all. It was really heart touching. Like it was a really good story.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Maybe
think
Sriraj could tell more about his experiences and his
uh,
thoughts, his dog.
sure. Just a minute. I think Vimla is. raise your hand. You can talk, ma'am.
Yeah, so for me, the thing that struck me was this couple, this Nurmi, the Finnish couple.
Yeah.
There is a sentence in that which says that just like in their country, they lived away from, this in isolation because their country is so large. In
Yeah.
this other country also, they are living in isolation because that is how they feel comfortable. They
Mm.
don't, so that struck me as very interesting because I seen one such couple who live in Norway in the fjords in complete isolation from the nearest house is a kilometer away and all. And when they come to India, they come and live in India for 6 months. They live inside the Theosophical Society and they live again inside the forest, not where everybody is. In fact, their house is a bhoot bangla. Is it it's so isolated from everything, so that parallel kind of uh you know made me think of that.
I think, yeah, definitely families like them would have, like, if they come across any animal, I think they will be open to have it and enjoy the company of it. And also be ready to let it go if it wants to leave. So I think that state of mind is definitely being gifted to such isolated, but I think they live their own world and they enjoy themselves within the isolation for sure. That's nice,
I
ma'am.
think they used to that isolation and they live quietly in themselves. So
Yeah,
in that story, the couple are happy when that cat jumps onto that girl's lap, and that's when they accept the cat. So they need to find usefulness for every animal.
exactly. Yeah. So thank you, ma'am. I think Meera would like to share something. I'll unmute you, Meera. Yeah.
Hi. So, from the excerpt that I read, like the immediate thing that sort of stuck out to me was that sense of companionship and about how I had never ever felt that sense of companionship with animals until about 3 years ago when I happened to meet this one dog. Her name is Lady. And the first time that it's pretty small, I guess, but the first time that she looked into my eyes and like the first time she kind of put her head on my lap, that was it. Like that changed everything. And I got to spend only about 15-20 days with her, but I still miss her. And ever since I found that sense of companionship with a lot more dogs, I've learned a lot more about them as well, like different kinds of dogs. And I mean, there are dogs even now that I really, really miss, like Cleo and Toto, and some of the cats as well, like Luna. And I don't know, as I was as I was reading through this, it kept taking me back to these new friendships that were created for me.
I think there's a saying that man's best friend is being found from cats and dogs. I think definitely there's a, even though they cannot communicate with us, they are pretty much connected with our soul and how we engage with them. They connect with that. That's an amazing love that we see between the man and the animal. So that's beautiful, Mira. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I think. Was it you, Sagar? Would you like to say something? Somebody was unmuting themselves. Anybody else would like to share the story of their pets or animal that they came across that gave them a smile on their face, or they would like to share some story? Aditya, is your voice okay now? Do you want to talk now?
Hi Akshaya, is it audible
Yes,
now?
yes, yeah, yeah, no. Now it's good. Now it's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, the book was really exciting. More than that, I found it exciting to search it online. Then I came across that there is also a film on the same book. So I started watching the film. It's actually for the film was taken somewhere around 1993, I guess. So whatever I read on the book, when I was seeing it as a movie, it was so nice. As a whole, the experience was so nice. Uh, the part of the book which I like the most is actually the companionship between those three animals. How they actually, and how the dog encouraged those other two animals to swim. He was trying his best. He didn't even let them go. He was trying his best. Even when the cat was washed away by the floods, he tried his best to save the cat, but he wasn't able to do that. So that amount of companionship, that is what really thrilled me while reading the book. And the movie is actually very exciting to watch as well. You should try watching it if possible.
Sure, sure, now, sure. But thank you, thanks a lot. I think in movie there was this. I really enjoyed the book. The part that I was very much wanted to visualize was the ending, where the kids get to meet the pet, and the pet gets meet the owner, and that was so beautifully seen in the movie. As well as I think if you read the entire book, you would definitely feel how they would have connected after a long journey. It's very um, I still wonder how are they able to do it. Like, how are they memorizing it? Like, the only hope that they have is their owner, and they just believe in themselves. They just trust what their instinct says, and they just go with it and just keep following the owner. That's the love that I think each of us have to show amongst ourselves, and it's definitely seen. And I think the pet owners can relate so much. I always ask my mom to buy me a pet, but they always tell me no. Why? It's very hard to feed you itself, and you never listen to us. And how will it be possible for me to have a pet? So I think people who are having pet, they might definitely have so many stories to share. And uh, there's this place where I go for one of my family member. So they have this cute white small cat, and this white black and polka dots dog. And I again I wonder how are they getting along? How are they? It looks like they're fighting, but they enjoy their time within themselves when they're fighting, when they're barking at each other. It's very beautiful. Is there anybody who would like to share something? Uh,
Uh,
that Yeah.
Hi, am I audible?
Yes, you are. You are.
Uh, I'm someone who had no relationship with pets, as you stated. Um,
Your voice is not audible.
now am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, like the story you say, whenever I ask my parents, they used to say the same thing. It's hard to feed you, and we can't afford to feed a dog or something. I'm very fond of dogs, but I never got an opportunity to be with one. So after reading this book, I think that I should get to get one, and I should feel the companionship of them. So it was so much. What do you say? Um, I don't know exact the English word. ஆர்வமா இருக்கு அப்படி சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா? So
Oh,
I really wanted to get it. So this book may be the base that I have to get it. It gave me that look to get one pet. So obviously today night I will be asking my parents once again. I'm not sure whether they will say the same dialogue which I was hearing for years ago. Um, yeah, thank you. Thanks for having such a good book. I had a good opportunity to read that.
thank you. கண்டிப்பா உங்க வீட்ல வாங்கி கொடுப்பாங்க நானும் நம்புறேன். ஒருவேளை உங்களுக்கு அது ஒர்க் ஆச்சுன்னா எனக்கும் சொல்லுங்க. I'll also make my mom buy that. Buy for me.
Sure, sure. Kandipa.
ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி வேற யாருக்காவது ஏதாவது நல்ல கதை உங்களுக்கு சொல்லணும்னு தோணுதா? You can raise your hand if you would like.
Hello. Hello.
ஹலோ, கேக்குதுக்கா, சொல்லுங்க.
Hello.
ஆ, சக்தி.
Is it audible? Yeah.
Yes, Shakti. Yeah, Shakti.
Yes. I got my dog like maybe 9 months back.
Okay.
So when he was puppy, he used to go near my neighbor's dog, and he likes make sort of a noise like "Oo, oo, 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 oo." It sounds like he wanted to talk to him, like okay, he want to be friendly with him. But the dog, no, the other dog, my neighbor's dog, he is quite big, maybe 2 years or something like that. But he never wanted, he never liked him because he's someone new, and he is not used to it. Also, like dogs also get possessive, right? So he was like, that dog, hated him like something. Like he used to bark like very loudly, but my dog, no, he'll be like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh, ooh." So even though he's barking, again he'll be like going. Okay, so he'll be like he was trying. And after a few months, maybe now the other dog, my neighbor dog, no, he's like he wanted to talk to him. Like he's coming and standing. Both are boys. They wanted to maybe play or something. The other dog is also like coming and like wanted him. So it was very surprising for me, like what made this change and all. So yeah, I wanted to share this with you all. Thank you.
I think if you noticed in the book as well, the older dog never mingled with the younger one because the younger one was too mischief and very naughty. That's how it was described. So at one point when they all got together, I think the older dog started teaching the younger one and telling you need to become wiser, you need to take care of the cat, you need to let it you need to reach it. Like there's this point in the book. I think if you read the entire book, there will be a session where the older dog gets caught in the mud, and it won't. It tried. ரொம்ப try பண்ணிருக்கோம், but it won't be able to come out. And it says the younger one, நீ தான் இப்ப பாத்துக்கணும், அந்த cat எடுத்துட்டு போ, நீ கொண்டு போய் நீங்க ரீச் ஆகுங்க வீட்டுக்கு. They almost reached, பட் தட் சென்ஸ் அந்த ஒரு அந்த ஓல்டர் டாக் இருக்கிற அந்த ஒரு ஐ திங்க் இட் டேக்ஸ் டைம் ஃபார் தெம் டு கெட் அலாங் பட் தே ஆல்வேஸ் கேர் ஃபார் ஈச் அதர் அட் தி எண்ட். யா. ஸோ பாரதி அக்கா, ஐ திங்க்
Yeah. Hi, Akshay.
ஹாய்.
So yeah, this book really I enjoyed reading it, and the incredible journey actually got a lot of my own journey with the dogs and cats. So basically, I've உங்க ஃபேமிலி மாதிரி தான் எங்க வீட்லயும் பெட்ஸ் எல்லாம் இப்போ வரைக்கும் கிடையாது. But the first pet I got introduced was a cuckoo actually.
ஓகே.
Their the cat's name is Virumandi. So,
ஓகே.
Cuckoo in the kitchen when I was helping the party, this Virumandi came and slept beside me, and I was literally feeling there is some baby beside me. I could really, even now, I could remember the feel. And whenever I go to Cuckoo, I used to, but for that time even there was a lot of dogs there, but still I was scared of dogs. I allowed only cats, and the purring sound, everything I really enjoyed. But dogs, I got introduced when when I got into Subu's home. So there, it was a nice journey for my own self because I would never allow any dog. The licking, everything I was disliking, but slowly I started enjoying everything, and now I'm like fond of both cats and dogs. I'm equally a cat and dog person. So while reading this book and about the cat and everything, it was really nice, and yeah, it was a good read basically. So
ஐ
thank
திங்க்
you.
அங்க ஒரு நான் குக்கூல பார்க்கும்போது எனக்கு பெட்டா வச்சிருந்தாங்க அந்த ஒரு பிளாக் கலர் சிக்கன். ஐ ஸ்டில் ஐ டோன்ட் நான் இன்ன வரைக்கும் பிளாக் கலர் சிக்கனே பார்த்ததே கிடையாது. ஐ திங்க் மோஸ்ட் ஆஃப் அஸ் not just dogs or cats. We even own chicken. சில பேர் மாடு கூட வச்சிருப்பாங்க. I think Netaji Anna, if he's here, if he can share some மாடு story that if he can tell us, I think
Mod story probably next
yeah.
time.
I don't know, like பெட்டுன்னும் போது வெறும் டாக் நம்ம only we are seeing dog and the house pet மட்டும் பார்க்கணும். But I think beyond that chicken, இந்த மாடு ஆடு கோழி எல்லாமே அதுவுமே மெமரிஸ். அதுக்கு even that can read your mind, it gets connected. நீங்க எங்கேயாவது போறீங்க அவங்க பின்னாடி வர்றது ஓடுறதுன்னு இருக்கும். So yeah, is there any other story or thing that you observed other than like uh, dog and cat? Yeah, அதான் சொல்லணும்னு நினைக்கிறீங்களா? Feel free, this session is supposed to be ஜாலியா எல்லாரும் உங்க கதைங்களை ஷேர் பண்றேன்.
Oh, Aksha,
Yeah,
could you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
So, yeah, this story was like a poem to me. It's very
Cool.
poetic, all the
Okay.
description and everything. So, what happened? So, I was reading it, reading it slowly, and when the cat got stuck, I was reading very fast. Like, I just really want to know what happened to the cat. And when I realized, okay, yeah, it actually got missed, then actually scroll down to the final page to see whether the cat is alive or not. So that's
Okay.
how it is, because uh, I know that's a story, but then still, yeah, uh, it brought me a thought process of a lot of the pets which we had, which we are having even now. So the cats, kittens, the names of the kittens, and squirrel, cows, and
Wow.
so it was a nice reading, and yeah, it's a nice reading. Thank you.
Thanks that you enjoyed. I think uh, one of my sir owns a dog, and if you notice that dog, it's not like they don't tie it up or they don't keep it like that. But every time when a person comes to their house or anything, I don't know, there's this weird energy that the dog has in order to show everything at once. I think um, it's the unconditional love that the pets have in order to just not expect anything, just show it to the people. That's very interesting. Yeah, that the dogs and cats, the pets can do that, and they easily connect it as well. So, is there anybody else who would like to share something?
Hello.
Yeah,
My name is Bhavna.
hi Bhavna.
I just wanted to say that just when you talked about the unconditional love that pets tend to have towards their owners, and also because I relate with you on the levels that I always wanted a dog to be there in my house, but my parents were always like, "You are enough. We don't need another one." So now when I'm at my cousin's house and like he has a dog, so I get to have that experience of having a dog around you and having someone to and I really understood that it's sometimes also because of the unconditional love that they show towards us, we tend to find a reason to love ourselves, because many of us struggle with loving ourselves and struggle with finding reasons to be the person we are. And because I am a person who's going through anxiety, I feel like they can be a really they can play a really huge part in making you feel loved and making you feel more loving towards yourself, and showing you that sometimes it's just best to love someone unconditionally and not expect a lot from them. So it really helps a lot as a if you have a pet around you. I think it really boosts your self confidence a lot too, because it's like you just know that there's one living being in this world who's going to be there for you and love you no matter what, and no matter how you become. So I feel like that level of companionship and that level of love is something that every person should have the opportunity to experience once in a lifetime.
That's nice that you brought that up. I think even in the book, if you see, the same sort of unconditional love made them travel, hike the mountains, and
Yeah,
reach the owner. I think it's definitely seen in the book as well. It's happy that you are able to also connect the same sort of love with your dog and help you out with your anxiety. I think definitely dogs can understand and feel you once you you open yourself with them. And
yeah,
yeah, that's very beautiful that they do that.
yeah.
Would you like to say
Thank you.
something that anybody would like to share something else um, that your dog has done for you? I think in movies we always see that dogs get you stuff and they keep you entertained. Is there something that any stories that you would like to share it with us today?
Hi, Manu again. I would like to share one such incident. I
Huh.
was in my friend's home and she has delivered her baby, and the baby is just weeks. So I was very scary because the baby was too little, but she is very fond of dogs, so she allowed her dog to come near the baby and all those things. Initially, I told her to stay away from dogs because the kid is too vulnerable to all the, what do you say, antibodies. We can't say predict like a dog will be a that clean as well. Even if it is in a home dog, still we have some fear, right? So what she, after some 1 month I visited her home again. The thing I saw that day was really it made me spellbound. I never thought dogs are that good. What happened is like she was literally resting and she slept. So at that time the kid started crying. The dog, no, he ran from the front gate, came to the cradle, and he hold the cradle's rope and he started swinging the cradle so that the kid stopped crying. So that was one event situation I saw that dogs are that lovable.
Yeah, it, it's just so beautiful to see that. Just a minute. Oh yeah, there's a echo. So the dogs get well with kids. That too, basically, more than elders. I feel. Oh, there's two extremes. Where if you're very old, the dog definitely understands your emotion, and if you're very kid, I think it handles the kid in a very gentle, as you mentioned, and they connect even more with the kids. That's so beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Manu. So, anybody else would like to share something?
Hello, am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Hi, Aksha. Well, yeah, I was always intrigued by uh, animals since I was like young. Always found myself sketching or reading about them, and I always found my life revolving around these creatures. These like when I was a kid, like although like the people around me weren't comfortable having any pets, so I didn't really have any pets, but I had this interesting group of neighbors living in my colony, and they had like these I don't know, like at least 5 dogs and a cat, three white mice, and it was just so it became like a habit for me to like play with them once I got back from school. So that was like a daily routine for me, which was very cool, very interesting, and yeah, like I often so yeah, I really like I like all kinds of animals since I was a kid. But there are these instances where you're like maybe trying to play with them or I don't know, feed them, and there's often a bunch of people that turn up at your backs and tell you to be away from them or not to feed it because of how they probably uh, you know how the dog might probably come inside the house if you keep doing it, or it might ruin the area more, blah blah blah, all of these. So I think it's very important for like parents to be conscious of what they tell to their kids, or maybe all elders, because what you're doing is an act of kindness, and you're basically asking a younger one who's still learning, who does not know everything, to not do it. So I think that's something very important that elders should be conscious of, because you're teaching your child when you're speaking to him or her. Uh, so that's one thing. But yeah, I think they're very intuitive creatures who can with a very high level of emotional intelligence. So who can empathize with you and even sympathize with you on on larger grounds. So yeah, it's nice to be around them. I know friends. Like I know a couple friends' dogs right now. Mini, Happy, and Gritty. They're so adorable. They're all of them, like they get to know when they get to know when your moods are up, and they'll fly in the sky and soar high with you, or when your mood is down, they'll plummet it right down and be there for you. So yeah, it's cool.
Thank you, Sagar.
Yeah. Thank you for listening.
So as Sagar was saying, definitely elders should understand that if the kid wants the pet, please get him, okay? Then so he'll also learn from it. So don't worry, Sagar. At one point of time, you'll definitely buy a lot of pet and you'll learn from it for sure.
Oh yeah, sure. Like I've had these instances where there was this one random Alexandrine parrot which popped up at my balcony out of nowhere. He was screeching on the opposite tree all day long. I got to keep him for a couple years until he decided to leave. So I've had a few random occurrences of owning pets, but not really through choice, but more like accidental encounters. So yeah.
So I think the meeting will end in another 5 more minutes. So is there anybody who would like to share any story quick? So you want us to hear or anything? Yeah, then cool. Then thanks, guys. Thanks for joining for today's session. I think hope you guys are enjoying reading, and please make sure if you get time, please write about the stories or the experiences that you get to know while reading the book, and enjoy. And there will be the next session's link and book will be updated by tonight, and start reading and enjoy it, and have fun. Have a good evening, guys. Thanks for joining for today's session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See you, Akshaya.
See
Have a good
you.
night.
You too.